So Lauren, tell me, how did the business get started?
So I started Harry High Pants nearly 4 years ago while I was on maternity leave with my eldest son, Harry. I felt like there was a little bit of a gap in the market with the baby products. So I tried my hand at making some bibs and pram liners myself, and before I knew it, I had lots of people asking me about where I got them.
What do you think Harry High Pants stands for, as you would say to someone right now?
I think Harry High Pants is essentially a business that provides funky, functional products for the little people in your life.
That's describing what it is. What about where it comes up? Like, where do you think your sort of business comes up in a conversation for people?
During a conversation between two mums who are just discussing life with young kids.
That's a great answer, and that's exactly what people don't stop and realise the simplicity of. And the power of that simplicity is that if you work out where your business comes up in a conversation, you can then work out what sort of emotive drivers there are towards your business. And that takes you from describing what you do to describing or uncovering why it's important to people. So what do you think that would be? If they're in a mother's group, what do you think they're scared of?
Oh, look, you're scared of doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
It's the unknown when you have young babies or newborns.
Again, you're right on. I mean, the human insights into branding are massive. And if you get the human insights right, your brand can be relevant for the people who come across it, and they all of a sudden stop thinking about the product and the price, and they start thinking about, I like what she said. I like her passion. So if they're scared of that, what do you think they're really turned on by? What do they desire?
To feel like you're doing the right thing. To find those joyous moments in the day.
If the fear is, I don't want to do anything wrong, and I'm really scared of that, if the desire is for these little moments of pleasure in amongst all this stuff that goes on, because the frustration is there's a lot of stuff going on, what would you want to say to people about your brand? Why is your brand important?
I think it's important because we provide functional products that are trendy.
Go one step further. Why do you believe that's a really important thing?
Because your kids are your number one priority in your life. You want wonderful things for them.
You've just started rebranding your business. You know, by doing that, what you end up doing is getting a story or a narrative to your business that's beyond, here's what we make, and I want to show them to you and you can buy them. 2, here's why I think what we do matters. So you've just described exactly that. You said, well, life is pretty hard with a child, but you still need those moments of joy. And so, you know, you could easily stand for this idea that funky, great products that are still functional will give you joy in amongst all this stuff that you do. That's the sort of stuff that will separate you. What would be the first things you want to do with your brand?
Certainly I need to be able to tell my story a little bit better, clearly, and get that across to my audience. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet.
Your story should start with your website, because your website is obviously, being an online business, is your front door.
Definitely.
And when you open the website front door, don't go straight to information. Don't go straight to, you know, it's almost like if I walk into a retail store and the first thing I have to know is, here's the price and would you like to order? I'm going to go, well, would you like to ask me to dance first? I mean, really? Is it a bit quick? So you've got to have some form of seduction, and you've got to use your story to do that. So maybe it's the opening page where your story, the first 2 paragraphs, is so beautifully written that I want to know more. You can't do that if you don't have something to say.
Okay.
So develop a stance.
Okay.
Develop a belief.
How else could I get my story out there?
Everything possible. So every touch point of the brand, from when you write a letter to someone or when a product arrives with a note, the product itself, the label, the packaging, all of those things should be an opportunity for you to remind people what you stand for.
Okay.
Not remind them about 100% Australian made, la la la. Not putting the features and benefits. Remind them what you stand for. And the more we talk, the more I realise I think the essence of your brand belief should be around this idea of, despite all the stuff that goes on and responsibility and challenges, remember to enjoy your baby. And if a bib does it, or a little pair of moccasins does it, and they're being reminded by you to remember to enjoy their baby, they will love you far beyond the quality or range of the products.
Okay.
So what we've discussed, of course, is trying to find your belief. Now, people think belief, I'm trying to sell stuff here, I don't need a belief. Well, you do, because people will connect with what you stand for. If you get the belief right, what they'll do is they'll stop buying you on price and they'll start wanting to be part of what you do. And I call that the belonging piece. The ultimate holy grail of your brand will be to have people belong to it and tell other people that they're part of this. You've got to get Harry High Pants. It's just great. It's just involvement, engagement through you. And finally, if you get the belief and the belonging right, their behaviour towards you will be just without thought. They'll just buy you every time. And that's what I call the 3 Bs of a great brand. So what you need to develop is that belief that you can take to market, create ways that they can belong, and watch them behave differently towards you. And so that's the storytelling.
That's great advice, thank you.